All right, welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a really critical issue for any executive team. It's this growing and honestly often invisible disconnect between the beautiful, precise dashboards marketing teams are building and the declining trust they're getting from their finance partners.
Okay, so let's just dive right in with a question that gets to the absolute heart of the problem. It seems totally backward, right? I mean, as our data gets more and more granular and our reports get cleaner, shouldn't trust go up? Well, as we're about to see, the exact opposite is often true. And look, this isn't some minor issue. A recent Gartner survey shows that over half, 51%, of all CFOs rank improving financial forecast accuracy as a top 5 priority for 2026. They are under this immense pressure to predict the future in a really volatile world, and you better believe they're scrutinizing every single number that comes across their desk. But here's the twist. When a CFO says they want accuracy, they don't mean hitting a single number right on the head. In a world this uncertain, they're not looking for what some people call fairy precision. Nope, they're looking for something way more valuable. Intellectually honest ranges they can actually use to steer the business. And this brings us to the core concept we're talking about today, the precision paradox. It's this weird phenomenon where an obsession with presenting single clean numbers, to seem confident and in control, can completely backfire and just erode the very trust you were trying to build in the first place. This slide shows the paradox in action perfectly. Just look at these two scenarios. On the left, a team forecasts exactly $12.4 million, but they come in at $10.2 million. The immediate reaction, what went wrong? It triggers this painful postmortem. But now look at the right. The same actual result, $10.2 million, falls within the expected range. The conversation completely changes. It's not about failure, it's a strategic discussion about what factors pushed us toward the lower bound. You see? The first frame treats normal expected variance as a crisis, while the second one treats it as valuable information. So the crucial point is this. The real barrier to marketing's influence isn't forecast accuracy, it's forecast credibility. Your CFO and your finance team, they live and breathe uncertainty. That's their world. What they can't trust is a team that presents a super specific estimate as a hard fact and then has to scramble to explain why reality didn't perfectly match their prediction. Okay, so let's get to the root cause here and see how this all stems from a really fundamental structural misalignment. The truth is, marketing and finance are often speaking two completely different measurement languages, even when they're looking at the exact same business. On one side, you've got marketing, living in this world of precise point estimates. Pipeline coverage is exactly 3.2x. Conversion is exactly 24%. Any variance is a problem that has to be explained away. But then, on the other side, you've got finance. They operate in a world of ranges. Every single major decision is stress-tested with a low case, a high case, and an expected outcome. For them, variance isn't a surprise. It's a core part of the planning process. So when finance asks a simple question like, okay, what's the range on that number? And the marketing team kind of freezes and can't answer, a huge trust gap opens up. In the finance world, a point estimate without a range signals that a team doesn't truly get its own drivers, that they're optimizing for appearance, and that ultimately they can't be trusted with major budget decisions. The solution then is to create a shared measurement language. We need to build a bridge between these two worlds, and we can do that with a really straightforward, powerful tool called the Confidence Band Framework. This is the core template right here. For any key metric, you present not just the expected outcome, but also a low and a high bound, a confidence level for that range, and, this is the most important part, the key drivers of that uncertainty. This simple shift totally elevates the conversation. You stop asking, is this number right? And you start asking the much more strategic question, what's driving the uncertainty here and how can we control it? And the best part, you don't need a PhD in statistics to get started. Method A, scenario bands, is the perfect entry point. You just document your baseline assumptions and then you model out a logical low case and high case based on things that could go wrong or things that could go really right. It's all about structured thinking, not complex math. Now, once you have a repeatable process and at least a year of good data, you can graduate to Method B, historical variance bands. Here, you're actually using your own past performance to calculate a statistically sound range, which gives your bands a really solid, data-driven foundation. The most credible method, the real gold standard, is causal bands.
This is where you use data from controlled experiments, things like A/B tests or synthetic controls, where you use data to create a control group when you can't run a live test. You're no longer just looking at correlation. You're measuring proven cause and effect, which is what every analytical team should be aiming for.
Okay, so let's look at how this framework actually transforms a standard report from just a static piece of information into a powerful tool for making real strategic decisions. So let's take a simple KPI like pipeline coverage. The before version just gives you one number, 3.2x, and that's it. The after version, though, provides critical context. We still see the expected 3.2x, but now we also see the 80% confidence range and, crucially, the two main factors driving that range: deal timing and how well our intent signals are converting. This new format immediately unlocks three critical conversations that were just impossible to have before. First, you can assess risk proactively. Second, you can have a targeted discussion on how to control your key drivers. And third, you can show measurable progress not just by hitting a number, but by actually reducing uncertainty over time. That's huge. And hey, you don't need to do this for every single metric on day one. Just start where uncertainty has the biggest impact on executive decisions. Focus on your starting 5. Things like core pipeline metrics, cycle time, key conversion rates, CAC and ROI, and of course, all your major forecasts. So let's talk about the ultimate payoff here. This is all about moving beyond what can sometimes feel like performance theater, presenting perfect-looking numbers to look good, and transforming your reporting into a genuinely trusted decision instrument for the entire leadership team. And the language you use matters a lot. Instead of saying, it's about 12M, you say, our expected outcome is 12.4M with an 80% confidence range. Instead of just blaming a model, you pinpoint the business driver. This isn't hedging. This is demonstrating analytical maturity. This is the language that builds real credibility. And the best part is that this isn't some massive year-long project. You can start building this trust in just 4 weeks. Identify your KPIs, build some simple scenario-based bands, get feedback from finance, and then roll it out. The key is to make this the new, non-negotiable standard for reporting from now on. So let's land on the most crucial takeaway of all. Acknowledging and quantifying uncertainty isn't weakness. It is analytical rigor. In the world of business, precision without uncertainty is just fiction. The truth always includes a range. And this really leaves us with a final thought for you and your team to chew on. Take a hard look at your current dashboards and reports. Are they truly decision instruments that help your leaders navigate uncertainty? Or are they a form of confidence theater designed to present a simple, clean story that reality rarely, if ever, matches? Adopting this kind of framework is how marketing stops just performing for the business and starts helping to lead it.